Some decorations, the moment guests walk in, they stop mid-sentence and ask, "Wait, did you make that?" That's the difference between something that just fills space and something that actually makes people feel something. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what kinds of crochet decorations get that reaction every single time, so your home stops looking like a craft project and starts looking like something out of a magazine. I've been crocheting for years, and I've made a lot of things. Some of them I loved, and some of them ended up in a box under my bed. The ones that ended up in the box all had one thing in common. They looked like I was just practicing. The ones that guests always comment on, they share something too, and I figured out what that something is, and it changed everything about how I approach home decor projects. Before I get into the actual decorations, let me tell you what that secret ingredient is, because it's going to change how you look at every single project in this video. It has nothing to do with how advanced your stitches are. Complete beginners can do this. It's all about texture, color choice, and placement. When those three things line up, people don't even realize it's crochet at first. They just know it looks expensive and beautiful, and they can't stop touching it. That's what we're going for. Let's get into it. The first thing on the list is something that sounds simple, but done right, it is absolutely one of the most striking things you can put in any room. A large crochet throw blanket, draped over your couch or an armchair. Not folded up neatly, not laying flat, draped, casually, like someone just tossed it there. There's a reason every single home decor magazine has a blanket like this in almost every photo. It works because it instantly makes a space feel warm and lived in and cozy. But here's what most people get wrong. They choose yarn that's too thin or too bright, and it ends up looking like a baby blanket, which is the last thing you want in your living room. The pieces that stop guests in their tracks are made in chunky or bulky weight yarn, something with real texture and weight to it. Think creams, warm whites, oatmeal tones, soft terracotta, dusty sage green. These are the colors that photograph beautifully and also blend into a space in a way that feels intentional. A bold cobalt blue or a neon pink might look fun when you're making it, but in the room, it competes with everything else. For the stitch, a simple seed stitch or a moss stitch creates this gorgeous pebbled texture that catches the light differently depending on where you stand, and that's what makes people walk over and pick it up. You don't need to be doing fancy cables or complex stitches for this one. The texture from the stitch pattern, combined with the right yarn, does all the heavy lifting for you. The second decoration, and honestly, this one surprises people every single time, is a crochet table runner. If you've never made one, you are sleeping on one of the easiest ways to completely transform a dining table or a coffee table or even a sideboard without spending much money or time. A well-made crochet table runner is one of those things that looks like it came from a boutique shop. People run their fingers along it, they ask where you got it, and when you tell them you made it, they genuinely don't believe you at first. The styles that work best for this are anything lacy or open work. A simple filet crochet pattern or even a basic granny square strip looks incredible when you're using a fine weight cotton yarn in a neutral color. White cotton is the classic choice, and it never gets old. It works on a dark wood table, on a white table, on a glass table. It just works everywhere. If you want something with a little more personality, a soft dusty rose or a muted gold can look really elegant depending on the rest of your decor. The key thing to get right with a table runner is the length. It should hang over the edges of the table slightly, not just sit on top flush with the edge. That hang is what gives it that polished, finished look. If it's sitting completely flat on the table with no overhang, it loses a lot of its visual impact. Give it at least 3 to 4 inches of drape on each end, and it instantly looks more intentional. Now, the third one is something I want to spend some real time on because it has the most wow factor of anything on this list, and yet it is one of the most underrated crochet projects out there. I'm talking about wall hangings. Not the fringy bohemian tapestry kind that you see everywhere, though those are beautiful too, but specifically a large, structured piece that uses geometric shapes or mandalas. A large, round mandala in a neutral yarn color, mounted on a thick wooden dowel or a piece of driftwood hung on a blank wall, That is a statement piece. That is a piece people ask to buy from you. The reason it works so well is that crochet has this quality where it looks almost like fine lacework when it's done in the right patterns, and on a wall, away from everything else, it looks sculptural, it looks artistic. It doesn't look like someone's craft hobby, it looks like art. The scale matters a lot here. A small wall hanging can feel like an afterthought. You want something that fills the space properly. For a standard wall above a sofa or a bed headboard, you're looking at something around 24 to 36 inches wide. That might sound intimidating if you've never made something that size, but a mandala that big doesn't actually take as long as you think because you're working in the round, and each round gets bigger and adds more stitches, so your progress feels really satisfying. Color-wise, and this is something I can't stress enough, keep it simple. One color, maybe two if they're very close together in tone, like a light cream and a warm beige. The moment you add too many colors to a wall hanging, it starts to look busy and crafty rather than intentional and artistic. One beautiful color, worked in a pattern with a lot of different texture and open space, is always more impressive than a rainbow piece. Speaking of things that look expensive, let's talk about crochet plant pot covers. If you have any houseplants at all, this is the absolute quickest way to make them look more polished without doing much work. A plain terracotta pot or a plastic nursery pot sitting on a shelf or a windowsill doesn't do your plant any favors, but slide a crochet pot cover over it and suddenly the whole shelf looks curated. The styles that work best are simple ones. A basic ribbed design or a waffle stitch gives a really clean, textured look. Macrame-style knots worked into the crochet add a nice, earthy, organic feel. And if you're going for something a little more modern and minimal, a simple basket weave or a solid shell stitch in a neutral cotton yarn looks really clean and contemporary. What a lot of people don't think about is making a set of them in the same yarn but slightly different sizes to go on one shelf together. When you have 3 or 4 pots all covered in the same color with slightly different stitch patterns, the whole shelf looks cohesive and styled, like you really thought about it. And you did, but it didn't take you that long. Cotton yarn is the best choice for pot covers because it holds its shape well, it doesn't stretch out of proportion over time, and it comes in such a good range of neutral tones. White, cream, natural, tan, terracotta, forest green, all of those work really well with plants and with most home decor styles. Now let's talk about something you've probably seen before but maybe haven't thought to make yourself. Crochet coasters. I know, it sounds basic, but hear me out, because when these are done right, they are genuinely one of the most appreciated handmade gifts and one of the most used everyday items you can put in your own home. The key is making them in a set and making them look like they belong together. 4 or 6 coasters, all in the same color scheme or with complementary patterns, stacked slightly on a little tray on your coffee table, that looks incredibly put together. And because you're working in cotton yarn, they're actually functional. They absorb moisture, they protect your surfaces, and they wash well. The most popular designs that get the most compliments are simple rounds in a woven-looking stitch, hexagons, or small mandalas. If you do a set of 6 with each one in a slightly different shade of the same color family, like 6 shades of blue going from very pale to medium dusty blue, the whole set has this gradient quality that looks really planned and sophisticated. I also want to mention crochet garlands and bunting because these are so underrated as home decorations.